What is up, TBS crew? Happy Thanksgiving. It's your boy Steph back with another video. We have Mr. Haunted. Why I will never celebrate Thanksgiving again. I'm not sure if it's a creepy pasta or a true scary story or what, but we just gonna listen to it and kind of make that decision on our own. And it was uploaded November 22nd, 2018. So y'all already know all the important links will be down in the description. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Back when I was around the age of 5, my aunt would always invite my family and I over to her house for Thanksgiving, as our family really didn't have plans.
Right.
My aunt was the type of woman who always loved us kids and the family. She'd take us everywhere and always liked to have fun, and she's also very charismatic. Our family liked the fact that she had invited us to her house. I hate to say it, but my aunt was very lonely as her husband, aka my uncle, died in a car accident a few years back, so we felt that she needed company, and I mean, who wouldn't in that situation?
Yeah.
However, there was this one time where we went to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving, and it was not a pleasant experience.
I bet.
Because of what happened, I will never celebrate Thanksgiving again. It was 2010, and my sister and I were around the ages of 12 and 13. I was the type of kid who was more focused on schoolwork, and I did a bit of gaming here and there and hung out with friends.
Right.
My sister, on the other hand, had a very, if any, little interest in school. She would always fail her classes and sometimes walk out of the classroom. As for her free time, she'd mostly be at the mall with her friends.
She just didn't care.
Anyway, my mom and dad gets the invite from my aunt for us to come over, and we of course say yes. Thanksgiving Day, we get into the car and drive the 2-hour drive to my aunt's house in Melbourne, as that's where she lived. Fast forward about 2 hours later, we arrive at her house and she greets us with hugs and kisses and seemed to be happy to see us. It was around 6 o'clock, which just happened to be the time for dinner. My aunt had made a nice Thanksgiving dinner for all of us. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, and of course, turkey. It seemed like a pleasant meal, and we all sat down eating dinner and talking about our lives. I forgot to mention that we'd been staying at my aunt's house for a few days, as we rarely see her, so when we told her that, she got very excited. So, Thanksgiving ends, and we all are cleaning the table when I hear something walking in the bushes outside my aunt's window. It is very dark out, so I couldn't see anything, but I knew for a fact that I did hear something. I told my aunt about it, and she goes on to tell me that it's probably her cat, Jeremiah, walking in the bushes.
Jeremiah.
It didn't make much sense, considering the fact that it sounded a bit louder than a cat, but whatever.
Jeremiah?
So, fast forward about an hour later, my family and I start getting ready for bed. My mom and dad would be taking the guest bed while my sister and I got the bunk beds in another room. The room we got sucked. There was no AC, as it didn't work, and the room honestly felt like a sauna, and it didn't help that the fact that the blankets we were using were made out of rough material, which made it even hotter.
Struggle.
Anyway, I tried my best to go to sleep, and I eventually did for about a half hour before waking up to dying of heat. It was near winter time, so I then decided to open the window to at least get some fresh, cool air in the room. I breathed a sigh of relief, enjoying the cool air that hit my face when I, for some reason, turned to my left and saw an outline of what looked like a person crouched down by some plants. I gasped and let out an oh crap before closing the window and blinds.
Put the dog outside.
My first instincts were either to tell my parents or my aunt, but me being a kid, there was a very small chance that they would actually believe me. The only thing I could do was try to go back to sleep, and eventually I did. Morning had finally come, and I still decided not to tell anyone what I had witnessed the previous night. We all went out for breakfast at a nearby IHOP and went home after that. Everything seemed to be going fine that day, and thankfully nothing happened that night. The next night, however, I had an encounter with who, or whatever it was, the second time. I was in my bed, and my sister was already well asleep at this point. Me, on the other hand, was not asleep because I couldn't go to sleep. I had this sudden urge to stay awake. I then decided to look out the window, and there it was, out in my aunt's backyard. It was a person, I guess, but the creepiest thing about it was that their arms were down to their feet. I had never seen that in my life.
Is that Slender Man?
Then I decided to do something stupid that I regret doing till this day.
Oh my god.
I flipped on the porch light, and what the light revealed nearly made me piss myself. There was a man about 6'4", and he was looking at me with this unsettling look. However, I noticed that he was hiding something behind his back. I was not going to stick around to find out, so I went out of the room to get my dad. My dad seemed annoyed that I woke him up, but got out of bed to take a look. But, of course, the man was gone by then, and my dad said that I was seeing things that I probably needed to start going to bed earlier.
Right.
The next day, I really tried hard not to think about what I saw and just continue my day. However, that all changed when my aunt told me to feed Jeremiah and put food in his bowl. As I was putting food in his bowl, I saw him standing across the street giving me a wave. I ran inside telling everyone that the man was there, and my dad once again checks it out, but the man was already gone.
It's not looking
I
good.
then started to wonder if my dad was right and that my mind was playing tricks on me. That night, I tried to go to bed as early as possible, and tonight was our last night at my aunt's, so I figured that it would go away once I leave. So I'm in bed under the covers and somehow have the strong feeling that I'm being watched somehow. I looked out my window, but no one was there, and I was starting to get a bit paranoid. At one point, I finally did fall asleep, but I was awoke to a loud creaking noise.
He in the
It
house.
only took me about 10 seconds to figure out what it was.
He in the house, fam.
It was the closet door. The thing is that the door was somewhat open, and I had the sudden urge to look inside the closet.
No.
I got up and opened the closet and saw the exact same man looking down at me.
You should have got your
I
dad.
couldn't hold it in anymore. I started screaming nonstop before my mom and dad came rushing in with my dad tackling the man to the ground. My dad is a huge guy, so he knocked him out with one punch to the head. My dad then proceeded to tie his hands up with duct tape while my aunt and mom called the police. When the police came, they took the man away. I'll never forget the look the man gave me as he was forced into the backseat of the police car. It was a look of fury and anger, as if he were going to come back for me after he got out of prison.
Probably.
I don't celebrate Thanksgiving anymore because of that incident, and it will always stick with me. This just goes to show you how one person can ruin such a great holiday in your life.
Happy Thanksgiving. You know, I don't know, fam. Because of like a situation like that, a traumatic situation like that, I don't think I would stop celebrating Thanksgiving in its entirety, but more than likely I'll never go to my aunt's house again. That is what I won't do. But I'm not gonna, nah, fam. I'm not gonna stop celebrating a whole holiday because of a bad experience. Now, if it became a common theme and every single year on this holiday or around this holiday, these horrifying events would occur, that's different. Okay, I might stop celebrating it and just stay my ass at home. Granted, if this shit isn't happening at my residence. But you were at your aunt's house, to my recollection, from my understanding. I would just not go over there for the holiday anymore. But, see, to say, like, because you can't blame her. The fuck? If you go to someone's house, and this is real talk. This is free game. Like, peep game. Real talk. For real. If you go to someone's house, whether it be in the hood, in the cool... You know what? Scratch that. Let's say you go to someone else's residence, whether it be a fucking motorhome, a house, a townhouse, a fucking hut, an apartment, anything like that, and you have a bad experience, you cannot blame the person you went to go see unless they had something to do with the bad event that happened to you. You can't That don't, man, that's asinine. You can't blame the person because of something that happened to you just because you were at their residence or in their area. They have no control over that, again, unless they have something to do with it or they caused it to happen. Like, you can live in a nice gated community and still get robbed and still get murdered. Like, there's, you can't really say anywhere is 100% safe. You can literally live on a street full of police officers and something can still happen. The chances of that happening are very, 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 very slim, but it can still happen. What if one day all of those cops were gone, or they all had to go help out with a huge situation that took place and you're at home alone, and a potential robber sees that? You might get got, because now, yes, cops live there, but they're not currently at home. So your area is safe, yes, because you have cops living in it, and you can even have a security system, and still things can happen. There's a way, way lesser chance, but things can still happen. That's all I'm saying. You can't blame people for where they live at, unless they have something to do with the bad events that take place in that area. Things just happen. That's just life. You just know not to go back over there again, no matter what they say. Free game. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and your boy Steph is out.